Welcome to this Tutor to You Sociology topic video looking at crime in contemporary society, focusing on media representations of crime. Crime dominates dramatic and true story programming in the media, and this fascination with crime as a form of entertainment has become commonplace since the popular forms of media emerged. Fascination with fictional and real crime influences the public's perception of the level of crime in society, and also their perceptions and representations of victims of crime. Research into fictional representations of crime comes from two different eras. Mandel, conducting research in the early 1980s, found that the public consumed over 10 billion crime thrillers worldwide, showing the level of interest in crime. Reiner in the early 21st century found that fictional representations of crime overrepresent the level of murder, violent and sexual crime that occurs, which distorts the view of crimes that occur in society. Fenwick and Hayward have argued that the media have utilised the fascination with crime to sell goods to young people. Crime has credibility and status due to media representations of criminal activities, and this allows companies to capitalise on this credibility by associating their products with criminal activities. Hayward, alongside Young, later suggested that the commodification of crime has led to crime becoming romanticised and therefore culturally acceptable, often through its associations with high-end products. Media representations of crime are subject to what Surratt termed the law of opposites, with violent and sexual crimes being overrepresented in the media, whilst more common crimes such as property damage are barely represented at all. This also extends to representations of criminals as being psychopathic strangers. Sexual crimes and violent crimes are more often committed by somebody known to the victim rather than a stranger. Furthermore, in fictional representations of crime, the police usually solve the crime, where in reality a very small percentage of sexual assaults and violent crimes end in successful convictions. One of the impacts of these representations is that there is a correlation between the fear of being a victim of crime and the consumption of crime-related content in the media. Heavy users of the media are more likely to have an increased fear of crime according to research by Gerbner. Felsen found that media portrayals of victims also led people to believe that the victims of crime were more likely to be elderly, female, and middle class, whilst in reality the most likely victims of crime are young working class males. This is what Felsen argued was called the age fallacy and the class fallacy. Representations of crime in the media can also have an ideological function. According to Althusser, the media is a form of ideological state apparatus controlling the way that the audience think. And this is achieved through agenda setting, criminalising the behaviours of the working class and labelling them as deviant in order to distinguish their concerns from those of mainstream society. The media also promotes the ideology of those that own it, who are predominantly right-wing and more conservative in their views of society. As such, critics suggest that the media uses outsiders as scapegoats for social problems, focusing disproportionately on the behaviours of migrants, ethnic minority groups, and the underclass. Furthermore, the media choose not to focus on the crimes of the elites, with state crimes, corporate crime, and green crime being almost invisible in traditional media reporting. However, it's been argued that not everybody interprets the media in the same way. Greer and Reiner suggested that individual interpretations are often based upon experiences and the level of education, while Jukes agreed, stating that a large number of factors influence individuals' perceptions of crime, including their own personal experience of crime. Furthermore, media representations of crime have changed in some forms of media, with more realistic interpretations of crime, corrupt police, and criminals escaping punishment for their crimes being seen more regularly in mainstream media. That concludes this Tutor to You Sociology topic video on crime in contemporary society, focusing on media representations of crime. Thanks for watching.